So we live in a cycle, yes?
Yeah.
As in season cycle, planetary cycles, much forth and so forth. Life cycles, expansion, contraction, expansion. Yeah, lots of cycling, isn't it? And a universal cycle. So, in order to understand a cycle, what can you do? Well, you garner a lot of knowledge to watch and observe a pattern that continues, which looks like behavior, yes?
Yeah.
And you tweak it. You tweak the situation in order to survive a winter. How do you do that? Well, you build a house, you put a fire in. Perhaps you've got radiators, water comes to you.
Yeah.
You're tweaking the environment to make it very good for you, yes?
Yeah.
So that's a cycle. On a more stranger scale than that, each single atom plays a role. It gets told what to do. It obeys. The molecules, they obey. Act like this under these conditions. Under this pressure, act like this. Act like this, act like this. Now, to understand that, all of those semantics, you'll understand that then, if it's a cycle, indeed, at what point to what next? So we know that it's going to transition. And all of that information is going to be wiped. So we look at the universe, yeah? So we're all... I think hydrogen 3 then would be the start of the universe. Interesting. Just to give it the kick to get it going. Sparkles, yeah? Crackling. That comes from hydrogen 3, yes?
Yeah.
So then it's right to assume that the final black hole in its core has hydrogen 3, perhaps surrounded by hydrogen. Well, when this pops, this final black hole, you call the Big Bang, which is the start. So you've got remnants of hydrogen 3. Now, if this is causing large amounts of lightning to happen in patchworks, then this is going to cause things to weld together. The hydrogen is going to start binding together, start to give you the lumps and clumps. Things are going to start moving. Also, attraction minus negative, who knows? Yeah, it gets your first stars start forming, and then pop, not much to hold them together. Your next baseline of chemicals are developed in that. Let's say chemicals, I don't know what you want to call it, molecules, atoms, whatever. Instruction manuals start to get unpacked. You act like this, then you're going to act like this, and then the next series of stars, and then pop. And once again, we move on to the elements, the next upgrade of elements. And then again, these become mixed into the arena. And then slowly but surely, it begins to take off. And before you know it, you're hitting past. Now we've gone from gases to more denser objects. You've got more metals, metallics, more pressure, which that brings in more pressure, transition, keep going. All of these things are going to act like this. Now, assuming that it begins to wind down, where it keeps going a lot of this, and now the things are getting really dense, really heavy. There's a lot of junk, neutrinos. Few and far between to begin with. Sure, these things just didn't appear out of nowhere. No, they struggled to form. In the time that they were created, the first neutrinos that then turned into a black hole, these failed. In fact, struggled. But as the mass began to increase as they were struggling, they got a foothold to be able to technically fall apart, but yet hold structure and stay in this memorized position. Then you start to see a lot of these appear. Then they're born, then they cluster, then stars cluster these objects, then it interacts with more of time. This influences perception, perceived reality. Things act a little bit more strange, as if memory doesn't exist. Now, that's an interesting thing, because this video is where I want to lead on to, is memory. But before we get there, we've got to unpack that there's a lot of memory already at play. Humans need a planet. And then, what are humans? Well, collective life forms, amino acids and everything else. Well, what do they need to survive? Without those, you won't be here. Without those same ingredients coming together, your kind of life will never rise up again. Never. None. So humanity relies on a lot of fluky incidences, pressure, timing. All of it fits on a spectrum into here. And anyway, the universe keeps going, keeps going, keeps going. Now we've got more order with these black holes. Multiple different areas, blah, 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 blah. Similar sort of pattern happening, large distances, but yet something is holding on to this instruction manual of how to be, how to continue on, how to transform, how to respond under certain circumstances. You're to act like this. Never mind that all of it comes from this stuff being compressed. So something had to have learned that. Now that would be the God spiritual, the beyond, yes?
Yeah.
So we're going to draw a line up to that for the beyond, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
We're going to keep that. We're going to keep that as mystery, and we're going to look at that as one. Something created this whole biome, and we can look at that and say, yes, okay, something indeed. Human otherwise, whatever it may look or appear to you, is good for you because that's the way it fits, and probably would appear to be that way to you, no doubt. Divot,
Yeah.
perhaps. Who knows? Let's not start getting ethical and unethical. Is that right? Unethical? No idea. But still, let's keep it moral. So as the universe begins to continue, as more orbits, it appears that it's all falling away from one another.
Yeah.
But then we take another look and we see that, they seem to be falling into each other. So assumptions then. And they seem to merge. And as a result, the black hole seems to share information. Yeah, sure, that galaxy, this galaxy, this galaxy, this galaxy have got peppering amounts of differences. But still, to a life form such as humanity, that's massive. That's information you need to know. Anyway, so it all starts coming together, rah. And eventually what you're left with is not multiple galaxies, but let's say a handful of galaxies. And some monstrous black holes that have been devouring. Now, we're in the universe when everything is in a solid state.
Yeah.
Can you imagine unpacking all of this universe and putting it into a gas? Do you know how big that is? See, you've got a large amount of gas, yes? And the universe has spent a very long time, well, packing it like Merlin would when he's going on a trip.
Yeah.
Taking gas and compressing it into denser objects. Crash. And we look at it and think, oh wow, look how small this universe is. You've seen nothing. Could you imagine trying to contain gas? Can you imagine taking all of the gas on the Earth, all rivers, converting it all into a gas, and then compacting it down into a metal? In fact, do this everywhere in the universe and compact it down into a very dense object, to the point where it's so fucking heavy the black holes start orbiting it. Now unpack it into a gas. You know that there was a lot of gas that went into that.
Right.
It's almost like breathing, yes? So we go from a gas stage to a solid, to a gas, to a solid, to a gas, to a solid. However, there's a path. Long before you rose up or became aware of your awareness, this was continuing, as if it even exists at all. Seems like simulation. I think that's a simulation is an interesting thing, although this one is not quite. Humans have built something and applied this meaning to something, and we call it a difference, when really we should be calling it life. That is the simulation of life representation of the most realist thing that you can perceive with your senses, and respond to it accordingly. This packet of information is what holds all other information, so suspected with that, okay? Universe continues on, comes together, small, finalized, big, colossal black hole that you've ever seen. And it's spent, all of them have all of their time spent devouring the stars, the mass, and have been unpacking it. So of course the black hole is going to be getting bigger and more stranger as it continues on. Now anyway, that's going to cause a lot of a lack of pressure, but also in the explosion is going to create a sudden amount of pressure in some of that. Where's the hydrogen free come from? Is it a wonder that it's rich on the moon? Probably not. That thing collided into the Earth. Earth is rich in hydrogen. Is there no chance that it could have created an isotope in that colossal explosion, which would then give me a hint that I would look at that, and if I wanted to make hydrogen-3, that's how I would do it, which would be a eureka because it's kind of one of the most abundant gases in the Soho, and especially if you know how to unpack solids, which you've been doing when you burn a tree. What do you think happens when you burn a tree? You're converting a solid into a gas, a vapor, smoke, debris, yes, other things, sure. But mainly, you are converting solids into gases. You convert oils into gas. And at the other end of the spectrum, are you converting then gases into isotopes? Which is a good balance, right? Yeah. A wonderful balance. The universe seems to be doing this and has finited that. Now, anyway, when you teach something how to be something, it generally follows the path.
Yeah.
And then I started looking at the past and the future and I couldn't tell the difference between the two. Almost like a deja vu, yes, and also a deja vu elsewhere, also yes. Like two moments where you seem to be pre-existing in one time.
Yeah.
There is neither, and this seems like a third separate wheel to those two timelines, which is kind of interesting, to be honest. And then this led me to do some more stuff, like it's only going to be before long, right? So assuming that humans have enough time. Now, whether God created all of this sort of stuff is a wonderful thing to think about, and I like that a lot. But I just want to come down a few levels from there for a second and just sort of have a look at it from any expected intelligent life forms to be paying attention to this overall pattern would be this one. Now, the universe would then go into a supermassive black hole, devour everything else around it, nothing else to merge with. It's unpacked an awful amount of solids, and it's converted these into a neutral. It stripped the memory from everything. Now, that's an important one. It stripped memory. So we would have to look at that little badass hydrogen a little bit more closely.
Yeah.
And it's always designed to walk a path. Even when stripped back to now. It always seems to follow this particular action of behavior under these circumstances, and therefore always finds the way, but also creates the nemesis that actually ends up wiping it, which is purification. And then you have this cycling, recycle. Last black hole, pop, universe, recycled. Everything stripped back, everything forgotten. That's important. The forgetting part. The stripping of memory. You will go back to this. So that hydrogen is a very fascinating thing in itself, right? So then the universe begins to recycle. In the beginning, for anything that's never seen this before and had to go through the final last big black hole, okay? And imagine surviving all of that, traversing the whole universe, unpacking your whole bloodlines, every single one, everything off of your planet, remnants of your star, the Earth, whatever it may be in other star systems, with enough collecting of resources in the flowering season to make use of those resources during this colossal abyss that awaits you. Make your stars and your darkness inside a shell that is nigh on untouchable, impenetrable, and wait it out, lonely, not knowing. Whilst everything on the inside seems real good, right? Illusion, strong, right? A long time spent building illusions inside your minds for a reason. This. Interesting, really, isn't it? How strong that could be. That you could exist in this state. Now, assuming that you made cloning, or assuming that you didn't make cloning, assuming that cloning came naturally, let's just assume. Assuming all of that. And you're traversing through all of this. And all of a sudden, there's something happens spectacularly, and assuming you survive. Hell of an egg in a basket. You then start to notice this gas everywhere. Still not sure, still rowing out. Time is still moving on, whether you're a clone or bloodlines continue. It gets to witness this. With that much time, assuming that you've had this many Edisons, Teslas, Einsteinis, female genders, I just don't know all of the names. You know, to list everybody would be here for a lifetime. But assuming all of that, the Budokans and so forth and so on. Well, you can calculate forwards with that. How far is that intelligence? Anyway, still, being inside that, you start to see all of these gases start to come together, and then you're like, hold on a second. Wait, is it? Not knowing, going through that whole winter, living off your resources, transforming those inside there. Still so artificial, but, you know, this is just, if we get even more, perhaps we can do... And you've played around with a lot of these ingredients and found out that... the stuff you really needed is rare. It's abundant out there. If there was only a time looking back on the past, and now this future starts to emerge in front of you, the gas starts sparkling. The weirdest thing you ever see. Maybe you start tapping into this to be able to watch that now and then. And then you zone back out again, and then you zone back in, and lots have changed, and zone out and zone back in. Well, zoning out is going off and doing other things. And paying attention to that every now and then as it begins to take shape. First time, interesting. Second time, seen it. Third time, fourth time, all right. Fifth time, okay. You get the idea, yeah. It's nice, but it's repetitive. Like a movie, on repeat, with lots of little movies inside it acting out. So I would assume that your creator likes fascinating things, is hell of a gripper, thriller, comedy. Oh, there's a lot there. To watch all of this unfold repeatedly, with slight variations between. I mean, that's interesting, isn't it? You think so?
Yeah.
You like doing it too, don't you? Wow, you're perfectly fitting.
For what?
Watching the universe unfold, real life, like EastEnders, get up in here. Every atom is a camera.
Oh, I see.
Right, just assuming that. Anyway, so you're traversing on, and this gas then starts to come together, and then, hold on a second, these are kind of like stars. They don't look it. Yeah, a bit egg-shaped, aren't they? Yeah, it's like poached eggs. That's right. That's a very morbid expression, but that is indeed right. It's what it looks like. Time. Prediction, perhaps. They wouldn't have gone into that unknowingly. Anyway, surviving all of that, then things start to take shape, and then, oh, but we can get some of these. These resources and those, and more of those that we needed. We did, because we only had a small amount of these ones. They were really good. That means everybody can have one. It does. Now, this. Yeah, interesting. And then imagine the technologies that then start from there. Now, assuming that you were to survive all of that, that's quite a gnarly thing. Now you would start to understand that the universe begins to follow a particular pattern, which will now start asking you questions about what the hell's going on here.
Yeah.
You know, then it might start the era of the molecule. Yeah, might as well. The hydrogen. We'd start having this everywhere, like symbology, and probably start to worship it. Anyway, get a little bit off chain. Now, assuming that you can predict this now, and you start making great waves towards it, okay? Now it's going to recycle and cycle. Now, assuming that humanity now know a different thing. It is going to cycle. And you're like, hey, wait, what did you say? It recycles. It goes from one to the other, from one to the other, from one to the other. It sort of permanently exists, but it doesn't. It's breathing back and forth, back and forth. Who's holding a chain to that? That is irrelevant right now. However, this is very relevant. Why is that? Well, because it's a repeated pattern. Repeated pattern means what? That if after all of those wipeouts, that it similarly walks a path, then that is interesting. You rise up in it, and you're going to walk towards this thing of looking up and knowing that the universe is going to eventually start to come together. And there are some things that you might need to do in order to survive that. And perhaps you already tried it once. Now this makes you question the past and the future, right? What if you noticed this particular behavior of the hydrogen, and you could train it to guarantee that if anything ever happened to you, that when it reset, it would rise you up. Not just rise you up. Oh, no, because that wouldn't be enough. No, definitely not. Oh, bless my life. These little packets are data of life, yes? These are the similarities. But what if you could rig this to always bring you back with your packets of data, and not just packets of data, but enhanced just in case this doesn't work?
Yeah.
You see, here's the thing. I was thinking of getting towards the end of the universe, and then multiple scenarios occur to you, right? One is the problem of making things lighter
Yeah.
in a heavy environment and making things heavier in a lighter environment. Interesting sort of thing. You would think mass and different things like that, or depressurization in...
Yeah.
You know, it sounds weird, doesn't it, right? To say space weighs nothing, right? It's a fascinating thing. Our planet doesn't really weigh anything. Kind of weird. You've got nothingness suspended, yes? And you've got something suspended in nothingness. What suspends the nothingness? What holds it, contains it?
Something around it.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Yeah. And then you're making something very heavy in space, incredibly light then.
Yeah.
In order to factor in rotation and different things like that. So could you imagine doing that on the Earth to the most heaviest object that you could find and giving it a little bit of space around it? Could you imagine capsulating space? You know, I had this conversation with my grandfather once. You know, I really wanted someone to, it was a weird thing, but it was an obsession of mine when I was a kid. But my grandfather helped me understand that it didn't work like that. Anyway, so we went on to different processes, but still was to be able to capture a piece of cloud.
Yeah.
You know, bring it down. If life was only that simple, right? Be able to get a cloud in a bottle somewhere. Who knows? Bring it, there you are, a bit of cloud in there. Interesting. Anyway, just for the fascination, would it, he said it wouldn't work like that, this, that, and the other, and rah. What happens if you forged a piece of glass up there and captured it? Imagine if it's your thing. Could you indeed, based on that lacking of pressure, bring it down from there? Could you suspend it? Be like bringing an animal from the depths. Are they called animals? Fish?
Yeah.
Yeah? No different name, do they?
No, they are.
So if we took a globby fish and bring this up, but we bring it up suspended in a tank. I mean, could you ever imagine if that broke? Holy shit. That would... So basically taking a glass making scenario and then making this melt at those depths, at that pressure, with that strength via glass, and, you know, making quite a big tank for the old blobby fish and bringing it up. So that there was no change to the pressure inside the tank, but everything changed outside of it, suspended. Because that's technically all a planet is, really, isn't it? And we all survive on that. That's technically what a body is, and we all sort of survive that.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you've been here before?
Sometimes.
It's interesting, right?
Yeah.
You can get to the whole end of this journey, and trust me when I say this, and you could be the only one that gets there. Annihilate everybody else, and then start bringing eternal life and everything else, and then start bringing your family lines back, and then only have your own family line. That's an interesting thing, isn't it? Do you think?
Yeah.
Do you think it could all be about one line? That's interesting, because do you know what? It's your own family bloodline that, if looking backwards, would they skip anybody? You know, they say that don't be a people pleaser. That's interesting, yeah. Do you think that throughout history, assuming history is going forwards, and assuming that it didn't go backwards in order to go forwards, so we do things that are strange, yeah? So we like to keep all of our eggs in the same basket. We'll take a look at food, one variety of seed, one variety of this, yes? In shops, different things like that. One variety, one this, pick one. One. What if you went one once, but because it was so one, it broke? Now that would be interesting.
Yeah.
And perhaps you had someone saying it, but they would be like, you know what? You know what? Fuck you. You know, as so often does. But imagine being able to tap into this packet. But if you were correct,
Mm-hmm.
we're going to jazz this up here.
Yeah.
That make you think about life. And it also then makes me think about other life forms. Could other life forms do this? Could you indeed yourself do this? Could you take a planet?
Mm-hmm.
Could you tweak it
Yeah.
in such a way that it maintains a continuous cycle that balances most of the water? So purification in water, assuming that we're putting life on there that requires water.
Yeah.
Could I indeed build a planet that was tailored for any particular species I was going to leave there? The answer is probably yes. If we really wanted to, we could move a planet, couldn't we, all together collectively?
Yeah.
After all, that would be a socialism, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Everyone collectively working together to achieve something monumentous,
Mm-hmm.
like toilets and electricity and railway tracks and the whole empires. Multiple times, I might add.
Yeah.
The workload of digging out coal from the ground, something that it seems less valuable than diamonds, and more people were digging for coal than they were and ever have been for diamonds. It's interesting, isn't it?
Hmm.
Fascinating. Anyway, still social.
Yeah.
Collective effort. Unfortunately, even war is a collective effort, isn't it? Could you imagine that socialism on a collective scale that joins nations?
Mm-hmm.
Shit, mate, what could you do?
Yeah.
And then that hunger, once unleashed, it doesn't turn off. It multiplies. Then it's, after we've done that, what else could we do? Well, this, well, that, this, and that. Yeah. I don't know. I just wonder what would happen if you made a world that was similarly good for strawberry types, all different types of strawberries, for argument's sake, and you throw every seed known to humans on a particular planet. Keep what's wild, whatever. Some people love that, but introduce a new variation. Yeah. How many new species do you think will come up in those changes? None? Some?
Some, yeah.
And then you take another volume and say, well, probably not keeping all of the eggs in the same basket is not a good idea. Maybe this one starts to win. This first one that you build with all these strawberries, make it all absolute beautiful habitat, produces some of the most beautiful strawberries you've ever seen in your life. Wonderful, but it doesn't last very long and starts shutting down for one particular, whatever reason it may be. Species.
Mm-hmm.
And then you move over to another one, where you take the natural processes. Okay, there's not a lot of change here.
Yeah.
That's funny to me. Do you find that funny that people say, well, just do not like change, but we live on a planet? I'd believe it from a space species. Can't stand change. Yeah, I can tell. You don't need to say that, mate. Why is that? You're sort of isolated existence. Look at it. It's beautiful. It's like a planet, really, isn't it? More of a aligned planet.
Yeah.
This one got you going. Without all of those things coming together, none of this shit would be possible. So assuming you rig the packets, you start understanding that there are data packets. So life, if built this way, particularly this way, it's going to give you an outcome that you begin to predict. Now, can you jazz it up? No, what's more, can you make this more abundant in the overall operating mechanisms of the universe? And I believe the answer is yes. Can other life forms have done this to you? The answer is also yes. Do they also know this? If that is a yes, then wow, that's a very fascinating sort of existence. Doing things as one is very deadly. So right at the last moments of the universe, a thought occurred.
Yeah.
Now imagine if you could clone and you had the resources to clone. Cloning resources would be a beautiful thing, wouldn't you think so?
Yeah.
Do you think you could make the universe bigger by cloning?
Yeah. Yes, you could.
How big could you make it?
Who knows?
Oh, but that would change something though, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Well,
Or
the only really way
dynamics.
to map how big this place really truly is would be to keep cloning the gas, wouldn't it? Which would push against a layer,
Mhm. Yeah.
some particular layer.
Mm-hmm.
until it could no longer push, therefore no longer expand. Fascinating thing with the hydrogen, though. The more there is, the more the space, the more expansive it can become. That's interesting. Because imagine that, running around this whole fucking universe, and I say running, and I don't even mean flying, floating around this whole universe. It's really not floating either. It just doesn't feel right. Existing in space.
Yeah.
Going from star to star, looking at all the bright points, and someone's like, what's in that dark place over there? Don't worry about it, there's nothing there. Yeah, but look at all the stars, so much resources. And then a group are like crusaders, and they're like, we're out of here, we're going to see the void. They get to the void, and they're like, what the fuck is that?
Something hidden.
This mess of a machine doing something
Yeah.
that seems to, you work it out a little bit, it's cloning hydrogen.
Oh.
Do you mean to tell me that the universe is expanding because of this thing? Looks it. Well, that's where I would hide it, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Well, because all the light and everything else and the glitz and the glamour, it all makes you look over there, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I can walk past quite unnoticed. Invisible, in fact.
Yeah. Yeah. And the void is covered all around with other lights, other stars that are in a great distance, but around it. So it's hard to see it, isn't it?
And having the ability to fast clone would be something.
Yeah.
Now, assuming you keep going with that. Now, again, after this much time, this is what you've achieved. Slow progress, but also fast. It makes up for it.
Yeah.
Now, factor that in to keep going. Survive past what you should live beyond, which already shows a level of intelligence anyway. There is a big reason for all of the numbers. Do you know that? It's massive. It's huge. Anyway, so when you have memories then,
Yeah.
so do you think that the future would be very good at making loads of capability by then? The capabilities would be really good, but what happens if something busts during that whole process and they're all wiped out? That would be then non-existent, yeah? But you put a little tiny spore, a little parasite inside the... And because time now is not good for you to come back, right?
Yeah.
Because it's this level of the unpacking of the cycle.
Yeah.
You need to come up at this particular level. Now, what could you do with that anyway, even that? And what say that then you could put some information that was untouched by all of this? It would seem more logical that something so small as that, that cracks open like an egg at the right time, gets released, that then guarantees for you to exist in these types of data packets, not perfectly. I mean, that is a fascinating failure, wouldn't you say so?
Yeah.
I would not intervene with that. If anything and a creator was watching that triggered that off, I would leave that to see how that unfolds.
Yeah.
Fascinating. Well, I suppose there's one way to get there, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
So even in your extinction, you just then, assuming that you had, this then doesn't become extinction proof. No way does it. Because I wouldn't rely on one packet. Would you? No, I would be sticking multiple packets in there. Some good, some bad, some the absolute, all of the goodness put together, but for whatever reason it just doesn't happen that way. Either or, the main line of thought is going to be this. Which then causes maybe, would you then, if you had an opportunity to play around with this packet of data, it's untouchable by the universe, it doesn't get wiped in any way. At a certain time, when leached in, it sort of gives the hydrogen an idea.
Yeah.
Hydrogen come together like this. It only needs to give it to one, maybe two, who knows, but still. It's going to follow the same path. It doesn't deviate too much.
Yeah.
and then that can make you exist at a particular timeline. Now, say you existed more so here, got really far, but it failed. The universe managed to have its way.
Yeah.
Could you then start influencing the past? Could it then start influencing the future? Because if it is a past cycle,
Yeah.
and some people say they remember.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now, I'm wondering, are you remembering from here or another cycle? And what type of remembering? Untarnished remembering? Illusion and remembering? Because there's a lot of types of understanding what remembering truly is.
Yeah.
Is it religious? Is it extraterrestrial?
Mm-hmm.
Or is it your own species? I would expect this more so from E.T.,
Mm-hmm.
more so from a godly higher power, if you want to look at it that way.
Yeah.
Universe directly, if you're paying attention, I suppose.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you've got a lot of, therefore, very careful discernment. And then universe cycles. If you can think this,
Yeah.
and you've been trying to crack this,
Mm-hmm.
has anything else ever cracked this? And why do you need a lot of people? Think about this. If you go off in multiple different directions,
Yeah.
some of you can be more heavier.
Mm-hmm.
Some of you can be light. Some of you can be the medium.
Yeah.
And more heavier and lighter in an environment like that, some of you might choose to go off this way. 6 of you might go this way, with slight differences in the way you've built craft and whatever else. Which ones are going to survive more? One or all? Do we all die together in that understanding, or are we all clusters of greatness? And therefore, we would then have to trust each other, wouldn't we? That's a
Yeah.
fascinating thing. Why? Because I would need a piece of your capability to bring you back.
Mm-hmm.
So I would need to know you very well.
Yeah.
And could I play around with bringing you back? The answer is yes. But likewise, could you do the same with this? Anything happens to us, I rely on you to bring us back.
Yeah.
Anything happens to you, you rely on us to bring you back. How? Without ever tampering with it.
Yeah.
Bring you back as horrible, as beautiful, or as ugly as you are.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a pill to swallow, that, isn't it?
It is.
You do your thing. It didn't work. Now, imagine this over multiple variations. It only takes one.
Yeah.
One to make it through this.
Mhm.
Perhaps not unscathed, sure. Who knows what this thing is going to throw at you? We've never really been close to one. We are close in close proximity. And likewise, have you ever existed before there was any black holes? And there again, what does that feel like?
Yeah.
After all, the whole thing of you, humanity, life forms, is feeling. Feeling.
Mhm.
Before eyes, ears, senses. It felt something. Like what? I don't know. I could just feel this evolution, but it bugged it. It literally pissed it off. Seems unusual that it wanted to grow sensors to try and see this.
Yeah.
Why? Because it needs to survive it. Well, why do you need to survive it?
Mm-hmm.
It seems like a lot of intelligent thought for something very small, doesn't it? And the smaller it is, the more intelligent it is, don't get me wrong. It seems. I don't agree with that per se. I think that when one understands something, you all get an opportunity to understand something.
Yeah. Mhm.
And then how many could honor to do that? To bring people back. So we talk about resurrection and Bible and doing lots of God's work and, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Have you been a good human? I have. Go on then. You? No, purgatory for a bit longer. I'll make my mind up. Come on. Well, this place is really nice. I know. It's heavenly. Come on. Purgatory isn't going to be that bad.
Yeah.
God's waiting room is going to be the best.
Yeah, it is God's waiting room, isn't it?
Basic drapes,
Mm-hmm.
No, we're like, wow, this is pretty good. Yeah, it's nothing. That's like minimal grade of what's behind here. But still, enjoy, take a look around. Can I have some coffee? Of course. Yeah, it's just kidding, right? But still, there's all of that. And then do you think there is the after and there is the existing of now? 2 types of eternal life, do you think?
Yeah, is that?
beyond, and here.
Oh, I see.
One is guidance.
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever feel like you've got two paths?
2 paths.
Do you ever feel like sometimes there's two of you? Sometimes you get something really well, and then other times you get it really wrong,
Yeah.
and then go back to getting it really well, and you sort of wait, hold on.
Yeah.
Is that like shows you a mirror sometimes?
Yeah,
Yeah.
some days are different than others.
And that's hard to look at that and not think, wait, hold on. What is this? What is that?
Yeah.
Is it something I'm eating at the time of this? Is it lack of sleeping? Which creates this. You mean to tell me that I'm so far on this spectrum, I'm like a needle on a record? That finite sort of line, isn't it?
Yeah.
A cycle in yourself, aren't you? You'll be either. Fascinating, isn't it?
It is.
We're trying to make a medium, which what creates a balanced being. Yeah, fascinating. Anyway, surviving all of that, and so often that seems easy, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Until it comes to it. Anything can go wrong. You're too heavy, this is too that's too light. Something will break here, something will shatter there.
Yeah.
One by one, or all together.
Mm-hmm.
Still, there's a lot to learn. That's extinction. Fucking hell, facing that. That must be a hell of an event.
Mm-hmm.
To witness it.
Yeah.
To witness it. That's a brutal thing about extinction events. We think they're slow. Some of them are. But the impacts, the bystander effect, the watch.
Yeah.
That's a note. You ain't got to worry about vigilante. That people will watch.
Yeah.
If they see it,
Uh-huh.
they'll feel it.
Yeah.
They'll watch. And then as it all comes down and no immediate impact, so the watching will still continue, whilst the other effects happen around. Could you imagine being the very few that survive?
Yeah.
The watching doesn't stop for a bit. Is it enough to suppress you back into? And here's something really ironic with this. Could you imagine bouncing through timelines as well? Rising up with humans.
Yeah.
Assuming avatars, different things like that. If you're into cloning, assuming that other life forms are more advanced and into cloning, it just needs a bit of a specimen from humans, and perhaps they don't even need that because all of the stuff is here to create this.
Yeah.
You just got to tweak the right ratio and, all right, sort of get this.
Yeah.
Then if I find those species, can I tweak them to be more advanced?
Mm-hmm.
But more compliant? Interesting sort of madness sort of ways that we go. Sometimes purification is a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
But even still. Anyway, lost my train of thought. Doesn't really matter. Probably going to wind this one down anyway. Unless it bounces back, of course.
Boink.
Yeah.
I'm
Maybe
sending
takes
it
a few
your way.
seconds.
Boink.
No. Maybe it just was not meant to be. You know, I'd have to watch back the video in order to walk back through
To
those
see the
tracks.
point, yeah, where you walked away or walk different paths. There are many paths.
Cloning.
Yeah.
Making an avatar. Come down to Earth, yes?
Yeah.
In your earthly avatar, looking all humanoid, but you're not really.
Yeah.
Get to mingle.
Mhm.
People do things.
Mhm.
People say this, that, and the other, right. And it's all about, I noticed with living as humans, we would not be very welcoming, would we? We treat anything different, we don't have very much belief. We need everything proved and everything else, don't we? We do.
Yeah.
Even I, in my core, is a bit like that too.
Yeah.
You know, actually, you're
It's
trying
like-
to work on it, but still.
Yeah, different look is suspicious, isn't it?
Yeah, or anything extraterrestrial.
Yeah.
I mean, shit me.
Yeah.
Where'd you come from?
Yeah.
What's all of that stuff? I got a lot of questions. If not, we'll just have to be quiet, won't we? Well, what are those big things on the side of that? I mean,
Okay.
we've been told to be polite. No, I think I should. What is that? That's a cannon. That's nice. Pretty big. Anyway, fascinating, absolutely fascinating. Everyone here is all about fucking annihilating bloodlines and shit like that.
Yeah.
Some people believed, I think I was watching some sort of conspiracy about Jackie Chan. Some believed that they wiped out his bloodline or something like that. Weird shit, I don't know. I was looking at that and thinking, if that was extraterrestrial, assuming that it was, right?
Yeah.
Because you like to play these, depending on how advanced they were, had they figured out cloning? Had they figured out the packet ratio? Have they boosted and got lucky? Did we get the short straw? Although a very good one. Are we remembering? Are our thoughts our own? Or are they entangled with something else? A past version of us. Not anything else. Us. But some future version of you that got close and thought, this might not work. And perhaps there was a lot of belief that they had to write this in such a way that was guaranteed that it was all, no backup plan, no this, come on, it's going to make it. But they did the unthinkable thing.
Yeah.
They just coded it just be on the safe side, just in case this don't work. And led to something very strange in the rerun of the cycle. And even then, they don't know about it, assuming that if we're them and we're white, and this is a guarantee that we...
Yeah.
It's a fascinating way to look at it. Some people have been chasing a god, okay? And I was like, interesting, I believe. But also, could aliens? And also ghosts as well. Yeah, but could also aliens too? Like sort of fucking around with the... Got some sort of invisibility? There's a lot of things we do not see. It would just be a matter of understanding how far advanced did they get. Are they clowns? Are they jokers? Do they like to live reality? If they've got loads of time on their hands, can they come in and mess about with life forms? And if the answer be yes, is that their sort of game? Can that become a game?
Yeah.
A living game?
Or could it be humanity from different sort of time, from different... Could we be influencing ourselves in different, I don't know how to say, setting, different time, different reality?
So do you think to get you again would have to... There is a code written that has made you you. And to be you, you have also shaped the vessel that you've been in. So you're going to leave a change in everything. So am I, so is everybody else. This is fascinating, right? That type of frequency has made you you.
I think that...
Therefore, you exist bundled together like this, as this frequency. And the fact is that now existed for a long period of time, yes, stands out. Therefore, that is an existence in this particular bandwidth. Therefore, copy that bandwidth, and it should technically reproduce you. I know it's fascinating to understand that with the same imprints. You've affected this way. You notice how the environment affects behavior, yes? Our whole bodies are designed based on a universe click, clock, click, clock, click, clock strobing system. That's fascinating, isn't it?
Yeah.
Did it want to? Did it have to? Or did it slowly but surely evolve that way?
Is it its way of sort of breathing and living?
So what about a universe with no shadows? Rather than shadows, it has intensity of heat. 1 minute it's closer to the star, next minute it's further away in a 24-hour cycle. It's this way. Always staying in the Goldilocks zone, however, night is determined by further. It still creates a lot of light, not far away enough to... I don't know, just assume this is a particular way. There's still always light, doesn't rotate, sticks close to it, just back and forth. Would you think the life would be affected on that particular planet? Do you think it... would alter it tremendously? Yeah, we would make a sense to pressure. Those pressure changes probably from day to night contrast would be massive. So life. Wonder how it would shape around that. Now, is it possible that this stuff wouldn't rest? That's another question entirely. Did life evolve to rest based on this whole biome? And everything has shaped you. Everything. It's taught you. What if you removed all of the physical? Well, to humans now. And put you in a time of gas? Oh, it'd be very boring, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
What if we stripped away all of the gas and left you in the nothing? Then what? That seems like a hard road, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
You'll find a way to make it out because you will keep churning that like those mice in the bucket, right? Until you turn that milk into butter. Is that right? Or is it cream? No idea.
No idea.
Until you turn that darkness into something.
Mm-hmm.
Forged in fire. That would be that's an interesting sort of fire then, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oof. Awareness. Anyway, yeah, still. So all of these sort of bits, it sounds very futuristic, science fiction, and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
It does. But if you keep going with where we're heading, survive an Earth, and this is all but dead, and dead meaning no longer being able to support life at all, inhospitable. Assuming many ions into the future, right? At a point that's coming sometime X amount of time. Total annihilation of the Earth. Can't even get close to it. That would be an interesting thing. Next one is the star. The star starts spitting out. That becomes another issue. The next one's then I'm going to have to pick a star that is living and start making their way to it at the right calculations. If they fuck that up, they have the chance to run into a meteorite, showers, perhaps asteroid, crystals, whatever, nonetheless. Yeah, interesting. Very fascinating, these things. Do you think so?
Yes, it is.
And by then you've hopped a few star systems. You can do it very easily after that. Gets better and better. A bit like ships. People want more speed. And if it was out of not desperation, but urgency. Yeah. It loves a bit of time pressure. Start the stopwatch. Because this shit is all diminishing. Until eventually. Would you enter it? I mean, that's again another trimester of fear that they have to overcome, isn't it? Trusting that. And all of that done on predictability. That's freaking interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
Predicting.
It is.
But yeah. Life forms one vessel. Multiple vessels. Seems to be another thing that seems to be quite screaming at you. Multiple different stars, multiple different this, multiple different life forms on your planet. Multiple different variations. That's interesting. Multiple different planets. Similarities, indeed. Not quite the same. So those little differences inside this make sense. It only takes one to survive it. Figure out cloning, this, that, and the other, and there's enough resources to bring back all of the ones. Perhaps not right away, because there might not be enough resources to do everybody. Or something happens, as it always does, and you have to wait till a summer point that comes. Well, there's enough resources to do so. And then how would you do it? Would you condition all the life forms? That's the thing. Because I can tell you what, you're going to go to a certain part of the era and you're going to go backwards so often that you do. Okay? Let me give you an example to this. You've got a time when the Pharaoh was at the peak of being fucking hated by everyone. You're going backwards into that. Got to go backwards in order to go further backwards.
Mm.
Let's say the process works this way, unraveling, yes, and you're going back into the lineages and all the people and everything else. But they do not want to bring back that one. Could you imagine if it was all done on cast a vote then?
Mm.
Well, it would all be in voting for I, right?
Yeah.
That's predictable, isn't it? You already knew that before you unraveled. Human behavior, yes, fascinating. Species behavior, also interesting. But generational behavior, my word. So there would have to be a conditioning phase, wouldn't there?
Mm.
Because some of the things that were accepted back then would shit me. In times of now, could you imagine that? Going back in time, you start bringing back all the bloodlines. Just assuming that you can, right? You're closer than you think, if you think about it. All it is time. This is happening all the way across the whole entire universe. Just look up.
Mm.
Why should it not anywhere else? Anyway, yeah, probably going to leave it there. But yeah, bloodlines. Go back and journey back through your bloodlines. Mutinous. And you're going to need a stable ground, right?
Mm-hmm.
Could you imagine resurrecting someone from an era where it was acceptable to marry people of a certain age?
Yeah.
Into a time now.
Yeah. It still is in some countries different than in others.
And say they remember backwardly.
Mm.
In between the passed down, passed down, passed down, there is some sort of etching
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
info that, if combined, should unlock something.
Mm-hmm.
The remembering goes backwards. Weird. That will blow your mind. That'll give you something else to fill a textbook up. And not one textbook, multiple. And then how many other life forms is this? And then could this lead you on to something with understanding packets of information? This would then lead you on to something else. How many other bits of ghost data would you say
Yeah.
could exist?
Mm-hmm.
And could you then start to begin to unpiece that?
Mm-hmm.
To find out what it is?
Yeah.
That would be a fascinating... That would give you a whole lot to do, wouldn't it? Taking memories, right? These are the memories, sort of ghost memories, perhaps. We generate a hell of a lot of thoughts.
Yeah, you do.
Every single one of us.
Mm-hmm.
From where?
From everywhere.
And when you were a kid, it seemed to be more faster, didn't it?
What if
More...
we...
Do you remember things as a kid? Was it more...
What if our thoughts are all around, just in the air because we thought them, and someone else picks randomly based on how they feel at the moment some thought, and they are like, oh, and some of them just go, and some of them stay. What if it's us who generates them? You think about something, for you something important at the moment, then it gets somewhere in the electric, static, whatever, and someone on the other side of the earth is like thinking of something else, and then suddenly boink, and they are like, where did that come from? They let go because they don't know.
Here's a question you can't ask, yeah? It'd be an interesting experiment, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which one do you think is more easier to teach?
What?
An adult or a child?
Child.
Interesting.
Because it doesn't have set standards, so you can set them different way, and when they grow up, they look at you. They might learn different ways. They go somewhere else, but they will still feel like whatever they did as kids was normal, even if to others it wasn't.
Well, it's a lot of thoughts.
Yeah.
It's a lot of memory.
Yeah.
Animals do this too. Memorization is key.
Yeah.
Memory seems to be very important.
Yes, it is.
In fact, not memory that's set inside elements, but now set inside flesh. very important memory, isn't it? Seems to be one of the most important things that there is. You're going to be this. Stay like this. What do I do under these conditions? You turn back into this. Okay, what do I do under these conditions? You turn into this. But what about these? And then this, and then and then this.
I wonder if memory is stored chemically in us, or like in physics, in small particles like atoms and the smaller parts, and then it can be released and someone else picks up something they never thought about.
So how do you teach the past?
Don't know.
How not to be.
Yeah.
Which then is very interesting, right?
Something would happen.
So what happens if you then bring somebody back? Who is the person who looks the person, but you leave them blank and you introduce them into this? Do you think it rewires them?
If they are blank, completely blank?
They are blank, but the personality structure is the same as they were at a particular age. The world and the way it was introduced this life form.
Yeah.
This life form experienced from the way that everything was with those personality types. Yes? Fit this particular mold. Remove the person, strip away the personality types. The core being is going to operate practically in different circumstances very differently, but it's going to be the way that it gels to this. That molecule, let's strip away this little bond away from here, move that one over there, and we bring it into a more of a stable environment, but it doesn't remember what it did before. We stick it to this one, and as it begins to develop, do you reckon that you could send in some old identity from the old lot if you stored it?
Yeah.
Do you believe that everything that's happening here, obviously, is clearly being memorized due to it being cycles, remembered cycles, close to the point, but still? We see this wax and wane.
Yeah.
It's repeated pattern.
Yeah.
Human behavior is repeated patterns equals behavior. Step out of those patterns. Well, that's a deviation. That's interesting. Why did you do that? Fascinating. Does this happen over a longer period of time? There's this. Anyway, that's how I would look at it. Further on from that, but still.
Yeah.
Yeah. Would you think that was control? See, because ideally you fit here.
Control is when you constantly do it, don't you? Not if you try, like, I don't know, to create something new, but then let go, let it work its own way, then be.
So even with this packets of information, then there would be multiple ways to walk, wouldn't there?
Yeah.
There's one. I guess trust in the universe, I suppose. That would be one. Whatever else is beyond is whatever your imagination allows it to be, I suppose. And maybe you're collected and so forth and so on. No? One is existing in a particular state, it's suspense, being on the earth until, X amount of time. But again, you're still going to be relying on whatever comes after. Who knows? Or you live in one that keeps you going on the chance that perhaps better technology comes about, blah, 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 this, that, and the other. And then you would understand something. And then let's say if you could ever bridge the gap between these and these, you might understand that, yes, there perhaps is a particular existence and there's a need for one there like there is here. Too much at stake, protecting, blah, 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 who knows, whatever it may be. Yeah, interesting sort of work, really, wouldn't it? Or existence, way of living, existing. Still. And then, what about if there's this one?
Yeah.
So I suppose we've got the what God, religion, or whatever else, be obedient, pray, live your life and die and whatever else, yeah? I don't know how that is, go to heaven and whatever else, yeah? Perhaps that is it, yeah? And that isn't it's not forced upon, it's just asked upon, perhaps, I think it's part of the journey anyway. I think it likes it nonetheless, okay? So if it was to collect you in that aspect, so forth and so on, nice. You know?
Mhm.
And then there is your way.
Yeah.
Here.
Mhm. Yeah.
But what if you don't make it here? Then you want to guarantee that you're going to make it elsewhere. Yes?
Yeah.
Then wouldn't you become the teacher and set the stage for next time in the cycle? And you would think that this stuff is also fucked up, right? Like it's like, whoa, dude, man. I mean, not really. It's quite simple when you think about it. It really is. Would you, future version of you, who is your teacher?
Mhm.
Well, is it humans?
Yeah.
Partly. Is it God?
Yeah.
Or spiritual, or whatever you want to label that, goodly as past humans
Yeah.
that have become gods, perhaps, yeah?
Mhm.
E.T. Could I do E.T.?
Mhm.
So we could have E.T.,
Yeah.
yeah, and we could also have past humans, yeah?
Yeah.
How would I understand if it was past humans? Because you would go a certain way, and this way would illuminate with
Mhm.
markers that made it very obvious.
Yeah.
Yes?
Mhm.
And this would be your usual path, which would be what? Maybe, I don't know if it would fit in with godly or stagnation, maybe?
Yeah.
Staying on the earth?
Mhm. Yeah.
Choosing not to say anything?
Mhm.
Hmm?
Yeah.
Existing quietly?
Mhm.
Say nothing? Don't even stir an imagination in somebody else's mindset, you know?
Mhm.
That goes on to fucking create something further down in the future. Maybe not now, future perhaps. All it is just stirring the imaginational pot.
Yeah.
More options. There is not enough options. There isn't enough choice. I'm giving you so many choices. These are choices, right? Yeah.
Mhm.
Get the imagination thinking. Yeah?
Yeah.
So yes, E.T. Yes, E.T. could do that. Can humans do this to other humans? Can they get in and try and wobble them off the path?
Mhm.
Send destruction their way.
Mhm.
Create misery. Create heartache. Anything but to try and bring them down. Could your own species do this to you? And then start blaming it on God and fate and good people and karma. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Can people in your own fucking nation do it? Yes. Can people in your own town do it? Yes. Can people in your own village do it? Yes. Can people in your own country do it? Yes. Can people from the whole world do it?
Yeah.
The answer is yes.
Mhm.
Interesting, really, isn't it? A
Yeah.
fascinating thing, but well, lots of ways to try and maneuver people off the path. So if humans are doing it, the world is doing it, and people are doing it, are the chances ET are going to be doing it?
Yeah.
And if you go to space and find other life forms, semi-intelligent,
Mhm.
I like it, semi-intels, yeah, and you see them on the planet, and you have all of this capability
Yeah.
that you can start influencing them,
Mhm.
would you influence them? Well, the answer would be yes, with this already. And then if you found some more, you would be doing this all over the place, saying that it's just helping and this, that, and the other. So you would be ET doing this to others. But so superioristically superior, we believe that this would never happen to us because we don't see it.
Yeah.
Would you go down to those other life forms and be like, yo, what's up? Yeah, how you doing? I'm from 5-star systems over. Star doesn't exist anymore. Good luck finding that.
Hmm.
We're going to do some experimentations on you.
Yeah.
What does that entail? Shoving this. Clean that. Come on. I get the staff these days. I am so sorry for the inconvenience. Don't worry, we weren't going to stick that in your ass. But I think that's the whole going, isn't it?
Yeah.
Extracting earwax. Nice. Not so nice. Right, okay, I don't know, whatever it may be. This is all believed. You're not going to go down and shake hands and just sort of be, oh, this is how it is. Maybe you'll go down, take a specimen, sort of play with it. Not in that way. Anyway, but even still. Nice. To understand it, to make a suit
Yeah.
that fits over yours.
Yeah.
An avatar, perhaps. An awareness. that's highly tuned whilst you can be elsewhere in your awareness. And this sounds like such science fucking fiction, doesn't it? But you could do this with technology. Think about that.
Yeah.
One is slightly lulled into your original self will be sitting on something lower and down, and the awareness will be heightening up.
Yeah.
And we only know one branch of computers.
Yeah.
But atomics, things that rotate, counting the rotations. Yeah, I think this helping things rotate and move, and then splicing these to get them to respond in the same way, that would be a fascinating thing. But yeah, so how big is the universe? How big do you want it to be? It seems to be the question that always comes back, doesn't it? How big do you want it? How much you got? We can keep going. Click, 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 click. Nope, still going. Slight change. It's all the way over there. It's just for the sensor. False positive. Anyway, but still. So the speed of now, huh?
Yeah.
Interesting. So we're picking up on thoughts, frequencies, and different things like that. Fascinating. Do you think these are put in from the past? Not to try and follow the same, because if we go this same road, which then you would need people that understand. Fucking hell! If this was even possible to go to the future and then be able to do this, or if it's already indeed been done, this would help you shape the final outcome of conquering. Especially if you forget.
Yeah, it could.
It might not have been advanced enough to pick up the memories, but it was advanced enough to make sure this rose up. And again, even if you were to get through it and you were able to go through this willingly, would you give yourself more and more and more and more time? I mean, there wouldn't be enough time to rise up here when this particular... It wouldn't be a good time to rise up here because there's no platform to rise you up. You need a time machine. I know. Just hold on, life forms. Look at this. You see this? 7 days, right? 7 days. The life forms want to go in that? There's a void of nothing. I know. Time machine. So then you start creating all of these stars and matter and mass. And how about now? The life forms are like, yes, that's a very good porridge. There we are. Thought we were going to get you a good porridge. Timing. Going too soon won't work. Going too late won't work. Now that here seems to be an outcome. Now if you could go forwards and pick a time where you would, and could you move it before that ratio? How much more intelligence would that be? Would that be a gauntlet that you would take just to become more intelligent, to refine intelligence, to take the gauntlet? I would. Would you? Would you? To see if it creates more of a... Oh yes. Simulation before you go in on all the testing, because if we go in there, we'll all lose our memories, which is not a bad point. Could you imagine that, just being inside that and then all of a sudden something happens and then you're all like, no idea what you are?
That is strange, isn't it?
Because all of the things that you relied on to shape you, that shaped you, no longer exist. But the behavior remains, yeah?
Yeah.
Which is kind of a bit like birth and death, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
You spend a chunk of your life existing, yes? While this unknown to you, another species is existing. By the time it comes to... its bloodline comes to crossing with your bloodline, yes?
Yeah.
And side by side, you become companions, live together. And this one then goes off and has kittens.
Yeah.
And brings something else into your existence that never existed before.
Yeah.
This one live. And then you get to watch that particular life form come into existence, exist, shape reality, and then non-exist. Like before, but there is a difference. How is there a difference? Well, there are markings. There are traces, but no longer a trace left. Maybe bone. Maybe. If you understand that eventually, bone, perhaps. And there again, a little bit of proof. That is an interesting thing, don't you think so?
Yeah.
That non-existing before, no different, didn't know before. This one then comes into your life.
Yeah.
Just you get a pet, whatnot. The species are crossing then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. In the wild, perhaps, do you think that there were certain animals that came around us? Apart from the fucking flies.
Yeah.
But it's true with some of the sharks as well, isn't it? Could you imagine growing with this trend of life just blooming like that? The shark would be a moving coral reef. I mean, that would really drive the shark insane, wouldn't it? It would affect its hunting. But there's so much swarming around the shark now. There ain't shit all it can do about it. Then it dies of starvation, and then life has to eradicate, change, upgrade, or make do with the new leftovers that it's got to evolve in order to survive past that. And it needs purification before.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah, so too much life like that doesn't ever do a good thing, does it?
Yeah.
So cycles come in.
Yeah.
You're going to eat that.
Mm-hmm.
Am I going to eat this one? No, that one that's another one of you. Don't eat that. What about these? Probably wouldn't. The toxicology on those, not good for you. What about me? You can eat those. Times are hard, eat these. Yeah, it's a weird thing, but yeah, still. Past humans, could they ever be teachers? Yes. Could E.T.? Yes. Influencers. It is true. God, we believe in something else. We feel something eternal. We all feel this sort of stuff. Can humans try and influence you? Yes, you've been doing that since day dot. The environment is influencing you as well. Yeah, Ice Age probably would drive you absolutely fucking nuts. No end in sight. That's it. For the next X amount of time, you are going to be surrounded by ice. Devastating, glacial, crushing ice. Grinding, chiseling over a long period of time. I mean, I think going from this contrast of what you experience now into that would probably piss you off. And likewise, being through all of that period towards the end and then going into this period of I don't know what you want to call that. Awakening? Would probably also piss you off too, huh? It'd be a bit grouchy on vice versa, and some are going to handle one more so than the other. Interesting.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, they're going to learn something from both. Well, it's just as well because there are hot spots and there are freaking cold spots in this universe. Couldn't have picked that any better, could you? You learn very early on, oh, that's a little bit hot. Oh, that's a little bit cold. You start getting close to one of these things inside your spacesuit, you ain't going to be telling shit, are you?
Yeah.
Wait a minute. It's starting to get a little bit warm in here, Houston. Okay, maybe we should stop and come back a little bit. You cooled off? Yeah. Maybe we shouldn't get too close to that. It's getting a little bit cold in here, Houston. Maybe we should back off a little bit. The suit's not designed for that. But it gives you some data though, doesn't it? To improve. And all of that came from that awareness of living on a planet. And how many times did humans have to burn them fucking selves?
Many times.
Many times to now
And
learn temperature, yeah?
And still will do. Yeah.
How many times did you get really fucking cold? So there must be a sort of non-existing state. So when you strip away all of these things, this is the fascinating bit, you are then a collection of life forms, yes?
Yeah.
Which would then mean that you would be a nothing. A torpor. And that's animalistic, yes?
Yeah.
And if we go further back from the animal, so we've got other humans, there are many different variations. You've got the animalistic version, and then there is the exist, do nothing. How long do you think humans would last in that state?
Don't know.
No eyes, no ears, no sense of danger, nothing, just existing. Won't even eat, nothing to be told when they're hungry, or it's just that. Born and
I don't know.
because I mean, if you strip it down to everything without environment, so therefore remove mass and put humans in pre-time of a time without mass. It's
Just
not possible.
awareness.
But it is possible. Just awareness. Yes, that's when you look at death as being losing the awareness. When you heighten the awareness in an arena where it just will not do. Somewhere inside the black hole mimics this awareness too. Fascinating, isn't it? Isn't that when you strip it all down to nothing? What's left?
Knowing.
No. We're moving past all of these layers because as you start to look at them, you could say, yes, this could look like this is ET influence, right? So we look at Tesla and think, where the fuck did you get all of that from? Where did you know all of that? Oh, and Copernicus too. Don't forget him. Oh, and who else was there? Giovanni Cassini. All of these. It is Da Vinci.
Yeah. How about Archimedes or Pythagoras?
Oh my gosh, you want to dive any further?
Physics or mathematics?
Keep going. If you know more, throw them in.
Newton.
Okay, keep going.
And he had counterpart Leibniz. And then I don't know who else.
Edison, Louis Le Prince. Yes.
Yeah.
Anyway, but even still, you understand. Some of this stuff is fucking alien in nature, is it not? Don't you think so?
Yeah.
It is bizarre. Like, that is interesting. Advanced, we would say. Now, is it too advanced? Where did these thoughts come from? Is it a past you that didn't quite make it? Past you would then indicate that you were perhaps present. It's fascinating, isn't it? So do you think the second time it will go a different way? Well, yes, because flexibility. Because you learn from mistakes. These ones are even longer. Lessons to learn, are they not?
Yeah.
Because you have to go full circle.
Yeah.
And after all, wouldn't that be an amazing amount of curiosity? Do you ever notice that humans are very curious? They hate mysteries, yeah? Let me give you the biggest mystery that you're ever walking in.
Yeah.
What the fuck is going on inside this universe? Let's talk about a mystery. You got a limited amount of time. You're very lucky to exist from point A to point B.
Yeah.
Okay? You did some shit with the environment and now you're existing beyond that sort of part. Well, what is there then? If you had enough time, you would live for X amount of time.
Yeah.
You've made this many discoveries in this much time.
Yeah.
Factor in this much time with this much harmonious existence too, which then generates from resources and places to live, nature, different things like that.
Yeah.
You can have one biome of nature, just one. Where it's all perfect, one species, and if it goes wrong, you're fucked.
Yeah.
Unless you put a lot of that on preserve. Or you could have multiple. And that's including genetics, playing around with stuff, splicing and different things like that. They don't mix with these ones. These ones stay as natural as possible. This one is the happiest zone ever. This one is like fucking torture.
Yeah.
And you start to get some real-time results, don't you? Which one truly produces the best? Which one truly makes you feel real good for eating that while it's in that state? And if it feels good, can it push this into you? Or is it just a belief? And if it is a belief, then life shapes your belief. So you believe it, which then would do what? Create a belief that would then make you start acting it, which would be the placebo effect, if indeed belief is the strongest thing.
Yeah.
Living in this type of existence really will shape your mind. So living longer, healthier, feeling it. And then living in this optimal state, what do you think you could create more of? So multiple biomes with multiple food supplies, with multiple new types coming out, and then subcategories of these, and the different parts of the apparatus that they like to live in. You don't want to make it all square. No, you want it to mimic the earth. You don't want it perfect. You want it mixing, but in a way that doesn't damage it, but gets the job done, that makes pockets. Why do we see any changes in this? One where it's perfect, one where it's half mixed, one where the temperature is, light, temperature, all of it, pressure,
Yeah.
all these ingredients to play. Then we start making different isotopes of food. Factor in pressure and depressurization and get it to achieve the same outcome, which is growth, which then we see as food. So, yeah, fascinating. Could you imagine a lot of different life forms, variations? You know, things can go off in multiple directions. And when it comes to making clones, sharing this tech out ensures you, anything happens to you, well. Personally, I think a better way to build something, a bit late afterwards, but always good to think about it going forwards, wouldn't you think?
Yeah.
Maybe the thoughts come with hindsight, yes? Do you know it's such a pain in the ass? Everyone talks about hindsight, 2020 vision.
Yeah.
What if this is the 2020 vision? That's the thing, isn't it? The way you can go forwards, and then while going through it, things are fucking up. Shit, I knew we should have done this. This is what we needed to have done. Well, it's too late now, Brett. And it's extinction. Who knows? Just in this science fiction, build a whole Star Trek around this shit, you know? I won't watch it. Maybe I won't. No, I don't need to. I think this. But at those last moments, if there was something that you could say to an early beginning version of your species just coming together, what would it be? Oh, this, that, this, and that, and perhaps the closest point is this. Is it updated every day? Did it get sloppy? Was it just a one-time thing? Did everybody agree to it? And if it was an agreement, it asks other things where the terms and conditions applied in that. And I thought some of them, normal path, then there is, what is the normal path is a good question.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, just existing and not doing anything. A bit more like a plant, really. No defense mechanism. Animalistic.
Yeah.
Moving up from that, humans as we act now. Are we following a path of God, which is what? Are we following E.T.'s path, which is why? Are you following your path, which is whose? Here is whose path. All right, you're filling a path and following a path of past humans, which again, all of these are possibilities. You like possibilities? Throw them all in. Make a prediction. Which then the more they look, they find these packets or these etchings, which makes you look at it in another way. Which then, in the back of people's minds, people don't quit when they hear it, and then eventually, further on in the future, they start making breakthroughs. I find that fascinating. Then they start to find ways to play around with this stuff, and then indeed, you would test it, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Here's something, you know, CERN has a particle accelerator, yeah?
Yeah.
What happens if you shoot two negatrons towards each other? These I call, it's just weird, so positive and negative from a battery. Yeah?
Yeah.
What happens if you shoot two negatives together in the Hadron Collider? Will it come together to make a plus?
I don't know.
I just wondered if you were to shrink that down and put that on the neutral coming back energy from a battery, could you squash it together and send it back again? It'd be an interesting sort of process, that would. A genius way would probably be working out hydrogen, wouldn't it? Do you think hydrogen-3 batteries would be anything? Be interesting, wouldn't it? That would be a fascinating thing. Figuring out that, and then simplifying it, and then shrinking it. Yeah. Anyway, these things always start off very big, don't they? And then they shrink down. I just wondered, so if you fire two things in that collider together, that's interesting. You can press them together, fuse them?
Yeah, maybe some you can, some you can't. I don't understand that
Anyway,
stuff, yeah.
assuming that is a wild sort of bit of information, I then wonder what happens if you combine multiple pluses together, which was a plus and a minus together. Do you then get to strip it, the energy from that, assuming that it is this way?
No idea.
Something has to return. Interesting. Fascinating. I just don't understand the concept of the hadron. Not really, but I wonder.
Me neither. I don't know about physics much.
Could you fuse these together? Anyway, still fascinating. Yeah, but packets of life. So who are you following? Who knows? It's a ghost. It's something. It's ET. Sorry, I do. I think that ET would knock something over, like invisibility and everything else, and something sort of just goes. And someone's like, "What the fuck was that?"
Poltergeist. It was poltergeist.
And then the aliens panicking, yeah? Oh,
Yeah.
shit, they're going to find out. Oh, no, oh, no, oh, no, oh, no. And then the human goes, it's a ghost.
Yeah.
And the alien's like, a ghost? Oh, ghost. Oh, poltergeist. Known for throwing objects. In that case. Do you get it?
Yeah.
It's the greatest cover story ever, right? So if you were like on a secret mission, right? All humanity left the planet, found other life on multiple clusters of life, just got really lucky in this particular area. Other humans went there and they were to go down.
Yeah.
But they needed to be close. Spies, this is a very interesting mission. SAS, you're going to go down. You're going to be invisible whilst doing it. How close do we need to get? I need to know what their breath smells like. No, anyway, but that's how close we're talking, yeah? They sort of go down there, and you're now the aliens, by the way. The SAS ET, right? Extraterrestrial, and we're now about to get into this egg called a planet. There's life forms on it, and, you know, you're invisible.
Yeah.
And you go in and but you're invisible, but you are still interactable at this point, let's say. You know, we're all excited and everything else. Can you imagine just knocking one single thing over, or you open a door and then close it? You'd make it look like a draft. Every time you open the door and then close it, everyone's going to be like, oh, God, it's fucking aliens. No, there isn't. Maybe. You know, on my sister channel, we sell the best alien repellents. We got it all. We got it all, and ghost repellents too. We've got lots. We've also got God magnets, and unless you like ET, we also have ET magnets too. I mean, you should just check this other channel out. We will sell it to you. It's great. No, I'm just kidding. Not really selling anything, but still. Right, let's leave this one here. This is all I really wanted to cover. So yeah, natural map for the future, or is there a past cycle coding? Which, I guess, from a recycle, yeah? Which affects the future outcomes, which make it different, which helps the now, which then goes off to help the future. So, I don't know if anyone has ever said that before. I think that most people look at it as godly. Some people look at it as alien, and some people look at it as other things, which I like the alien one. I love that one. I also love the God one too, and I believe in all of these things because they're all possibilities. Have you ever considered, what if it's past? Tapped into this mechanism that then influences and shapes better quality thoughts. And then with this process, could you imagine that? You start to do that and it was an accident. It was meant to be a self-defense mechanism that stopped you going extinct. You went extinct, but you came back. That's resurrection. Money is in your own hands, right? Making life matter and resurrect would be a number one priority. Gonna wait for something else to resurrect you, or are you gonna be making sure that you drop that anchor when that time comes yourself? Or not yourselves because you won't be there, but the remnants of you. Can you imagine that? The whole existence of humans, right? Once being there, and then they're all extinct and gone. And all that is left is this restart mechanism. The only trace there is that they ever existed, assuming their bones survive. But assuming they don't, the only trace that there is this indestructible mechanism. They're supposed to go off at the exact right time, and if you get lucky, it works. If you don't, shinny, you tried. But what if it did? Is it even possible that it could? And then could you influence the memories that come in it and enhance them, genetically modify them in some sort of way? And when the awareness is at the right peak, at the right time, it starts to make sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hell of a gamble, isn't it? That'd be a fascinating way to do it, wouldn't it? And the more earlier you do it and you move, the more intelligence goes forward, and you do it a little bit more forward and a little bit more forward. Do you think this can get past the time barrier age? To be highly intelligent. That would be fascinating, wouldn't it? Really fucking intelligent. Knowing that reality shapes, and could you have it shaped, pre-shaped, to tweak it in your favor more so?
Mm-hmm.
Man, that would be interesting. And then if you condense data doing this, going through the gauntlet, you know? Because yeah, man, if I had to rely on anybody else to resurrect you, I mean, if you know, yeah, I don't know, seen it throughout history. What about Guy Fawkes? Yeah, we'll bring him back. Starts getting a little bit offensive when I say someone like Hitler. Would you bring him back? It's a question. Do you think he could be educated? Ted Bundy. Ooh, fuck me, am I pushing the boat? And I could get worse with this as well. Would you bring him back? Or no? Or yes?
All those people shaped history and created bloodlines. Are part of bloodline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's some fucking ticket that is to walk with, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
To be known.
And
But
terminated bloodlines. Yeah.
It gives you a little bit of time to rectify that. And is it healing? Because in order to go backwards, everybody comes backwards. Let's understand that. The victim also comes back, but that's going to need some sort of, perhaps, certain bits of it you don't want to remember, right? Would you bring it back, but would it not remember that? It's assuming that you could be in control of the data. The rest of it, harmless. That, harmful.
Well, maybe we are brought back and we don't remember, because do we remember something?
Oh, yes, illusions are strong. Yeah, you would have to be... That's interesting. But anyway, even if you were E.T. that come down and did a load of stuff, and they were like, right, we're gonna do some stuff to you. We're gonna wipe out your fucking bloodline, assuming that you were in an avatar and they go to do it. And then E.T. goes back to the ship and is like, whoa, what happened? They did this. No fucking way. Yeah. We have to go there. Why? By the time we get there, it'll be 4 generations past. And anyway, what would be the point? Because I want to wipe their bloodline out. Interesting. Fascinating, isn't it? Isn't it swings and roundabouts? And then who's got who? And then these ones are like, oh, you wait until I come back here again, because they will bollocks this up again, and then we'll come back as packets. Anyway, but yeah, there you are. So now it might seem like fiction and everything else, and yes, beautiful. But this is already happening. So for me, it's hard to call it fiction. It seems more logical that we can do this sort of stuff. I mean, very predictable, isn't it?
Yeah.
How's your child going to look? Well, a bit like you and a bit like that, a bit like this one, a bit like that. You got all pictures of your whole bloodline? I'll find them in there somewhere. Like a cross between this and this. You are dad? Yes. You are mum? Yeah. Okay, your grandness is it. Well, I think they're cross between this. Ooh, we must have enough archive databases of pictures these days to start playing this game. Guess the kid. How are we going to do that? Well, here's the app. You put all of your fucking bloodline, you know, you're doing this with Ancestry and stuff like that. And it sees all of this database, and the computer's got to try and guess from a smudge of this, from this, which one's going to be compatible. Interesting, and the outcome. That would be very shocking, wouldn't it? Predicting how child is going to look based on grandparents, bloodline, lineage going back to however long you've been taking pictures, minus Victorian. Those were interesting days. Fascinating pictures. So you mean to tell me that the invention of pictures was to take death portraits?
No.
Yeah? Oh, lots of people did this. They had money for funerals.
At one time they did, but it was not that. It first was taken nature because it took a long time and it didn't move, did it? unless it was
how the fuck
windy.
do you break the ice on this? Sorry, someone is like, oh, Cedric, he's gone. And then someone with a very tall hat walks in, walking stick, no, I imagine. Fucking great big fucking Louis hanging off his neck.
Well, they
Or
had
Edison.
tripod, didn't they?
Yeah, a tripod that took about a month. But anyway, I'm just assuming
Yeah.
this great big woggly thing. I know the loss, dear.
It was
The loss is so bad, dear. Look, it's a little bit unorthodox. But what if we could make a memory? Which one? Look, if we sit him up, is this how we look? Yeah, he's sunk. All right, there we are. What about the hat? Yeah, like that. Is it good? Yeah. Go sit over there for a second. Just put arm around. Remember, this is the last one. Ready? I just gotta. Yeah. Stay there for about 24 hours.
Yeah. But
Yeah, and the picture develops and everything. How the fuck did you break that? I'll take a picture of them dead. You don't want to do it when they were alive? No.
it was short-lived fashion, though.
I know, it was very short-lived. Well, what do you reckon there was a real meaning behind that?
Memory, brilliant.
Memory.
Yeah.
Interesting.
To see that
Just
person
memory.
with you at that time. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's so, it's deep. And let's be realistic. Do you think that would have took off quite a thing?
And people couldn't afford that, so they would do that only in case that it was really the last picture. Many of them.
They didn't know that they were going to invent motor cars and rockets.
Exactly. And videos that would, when people first saw, when the cinema
been
and
a
saw
whole
the
new
train, they
incident.
ran away, didn't they?
The picture.
Yeah. Moving pictures. Yeah.
How fascinating.
Yeah.
Memory.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's deeper than that. I think it's got something to do with ice.
Because then at some point they were taking just the picture of the person laying in the coffin peacefully, the face and the part of the coffin. So it was not someone sitting with you propped. It was just someone last picture of them.
Life affects us. During an ice age, I think this would have affected the way that we would have... What were we going to do? Do a burial? How? We're going to dig through fucking layers of ice?
Yeah.
And snow and...
And in
more
older
ice?
times you would have portraits, wouldn't you? Of those, again, who could afford it. People couldn't make their own portraits.
I don't know. I think they were shaping the snow into ice and probably encasing this into the body, around the body, so that they could see it.
Right.
And I think this would have slowed down rot. Life affects you, doesn't it? The outside world, if it really does. And therefore they felt like they were with. I think this is how they were the first ways that they would have done this. That's why most of the history is not to be found. Because it was done in ice.
It was in
Unfortunately, ice melts and
No.
shine, mate. Good luck finding that. It's like trying to find a bone on a planet.
You could have igloos, you could have houses, you could have palaces, who knows? Everything can be built from ice.
Yeah. And I spent a long time rolling around in the sea. Yeah, no, it's gone. It's gone.
Yeah, especially when there's nearly no summer, it doesn't melt, does it? You just fix it a little bit. If it was hot for a few days and sun was like concentrated on that ice.
And if they were quite big and they were encased and they went like giant ice cubes to the planet, and then they slowly, surely start dissolving. You ever wonder why you freeze bloodworm and then drop it in your fish tank and it starts leaching out? That's what would have happened to the past ancestors that would have made it on all these waters, washing away the ice, taking away big. It would have been like human carving. My word, it would have been like feed your fish.
They didn't have much choice anyway because all the ground frozen. Where do you dig hole or something? Either you burn your ancestors or you put them in ice. Try to dig permafrost after when it's winter.
Yeah, no, you're
You
right.
won't.
Thanks. Yeah, no, I probably wouldn't. And there would have been some witty, fucking interesting people that would probably have been like, "Wait, you know when you put me in the ice box? Yes, yes, Snow Queen. Fuck off. Like, put me like this.
Too much space. Needs to make white coffee.
Make me look like a beaver. Fill my mouth with snow. Yeah, or whatever it may be. You know, just interesting stuff. I think they got quite creative with it. But the main thing was, I think it would have been more sacred for ice. And then the whole mummification, trying to preserve a body after death, seems rather fitting, really, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's in the opposite, isn't it?
Yeah.
because it will dry. And
Which would be a lot of people not wanting to let go of an old behavior. So they start a practice of trying to make a particular way, which then I think even in China, this reached China, didn't it? A lady but buried in honey, thousands of years
yeah,
old.
and then there are some people who sit there, dead people, somewhere on the rock. There is like a bridge, and they sit there and dry and just sit there.
Yeah. So that would be an interesting sort of. If it didn't happen, would it lead on to things now?
I know.
And we are also etching in stone memory. So we're already shaping the way the memory stays and for how long that it stays. And if it survives, well, nothing that we do here on the earth is ever going to survive anything. But yet, if we set our minds to it and made something very indestructible to universal standards and bring it back to the earth, I think it would be the last thing that remains. I mean, you could also tell when planets or stars were destroyed, this would act like a signal flare that would let you know once the star had finished from long distance. That would be a fascinating thing. Not destructed in the event of a star collapsing in on itself, exploding out, or a black hole. That would be a fascinating thing. And the more stronger that becomes, you can start etching memory into it. And then you start looking at life. All of these things memorized to be this way. Under this pressure, you'll be this. But yeah, if we return back to this pressure, it doesn't matter. You're still this until you reach this over here. Okay? So when you go like this, you'll fall apart like this. Yeah, but how do I know? I've never done it before. Don't worry. Trust me. If you get squashed again under this pressure, you're going to come out like this. And what does this do? Well, this acts like this, and this. Can I be any? No, you can't be any of those things that you once were. You have to be these. Next time, and you come out, you're going to be like this. Now you're going to act like this, etching memory. But sure, in the destruction, let's think about it logically. If we were to convert those solid objects of iron, and let's say we were indeed able to defuse it, we were able to take that back to hydrogen and leave it in the universe. Do you think the universe is not going to convert that hydrogen back into iron again? It's not going to be picky now, is it?
No.
It's fascinating. So it can be either.
Yeah.
And then if it does go back to iron again, did I predict that sequence happened, or the fact that I defused it? Is it always going to go back to iron under those circumstances? And if the circumstances or the answer is yes, slight differentials, magnetism, different stuff like that, perhaps. The same iron each time. And then if I defuse it again back into, let's say, gas, hydrogen, and then I subject it back into as long as I got enough time to keep doing this, how many times will that keep converting that back into iron? And assuming I could log all of those pieces of hydrogen, I know each one, and they're going to clump together and stay together, and then they're going to crush and turn back into iron. All the way, change through all of these transitions. Yeah. And then I'm going to defuse it and throw it back into the star, and then it's going to fuse it back. Each time that it keeps on doing this same pattern, something is holding a memory. Yeah. Especially this stuff. Is there any way that I can make that jump a cycle? Can I make it act like this? That when you are exposed to this in the star, I want you to double at this pressure. Then do all of those things that you've been doing. Probably going to be easier to clone this object here, hydrogen, than it is going to be to iron. Iron's going to be more challenging, I think. Not impossible, just challenging. Longer. And if each time this keeps doing this is a well-rehearsed reflex behavior here, isn't it? And if I watch the universe and it cycles from here to here, it never goes anything beyond or below. But we can make it go beyond or below. Hey, who taught it that? That's the question. something must have taught it if after 10 cycles it's only balanced between these two.
Yeah.
But you can take it and make it go way beyond
Mm-hmm.
and way below.
Yeah.
Has it ever done it? Question. To know how to hold that memory.
Yeah.
And the same way you pick it. And can you reorder this? That's another question. Can you influence it to act a little bit different to what it usually does?
Yeah.
And then if you could start manipulating that and keep going, because you're playing around with fusion and fission, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Fusing and defusing.
Yeah.
Well, give it enough time. What do you reckon? Another, what do you say? 4 billion years, how do you reckon, if life, assuming that it survives,
Mm-hmm.
how would it look? How much more advanced would it be? So it would be then trying to hold memory on structures.
Mm-hmm.
And trying to influence those build-ups. Can it be built in a different way? And if the answer actually again turns out to be yes, ooh, blow your mind. Different this, different that. What happens if I subject it to pressure? No pressure. This, so many different variations, magnetism more. Adding anything that you can think of new that isn't being conducted and see if it changes. The ingredients always change. But yeah, fascinating outcome. Still gonna leave it there. Let's leave it there. Let's roll off and on.